Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Body Mind Healing. My name is Maria Sanchez. I am a holistic health consultant, a family nurse practitioner, a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and a doctor in nursing practice. The topic for today is, what is emotional guilt? Emotional guilt is a profound and often complex emotion that arises when we believe we have done something wrong or failed someone. It is deeply connected to our values, social norms, and personal expectations, serving as an internal response to actions or decisions we perceive as morally incorrect or harmful. However, guilt is not inherently negative. When approached constructively, it can be a powerful force for self-improvement, encouraging us to take responsibility, make amends, and learn from our mistakes. This is known as healthy guilt, a motivational force that fosters emotional growth and ethical evolution. Conversely, guilt can become detrimental when it turns into toxic guilt, a paralyzing cycle of self-criticism, shame, and self-loathing. Instead of guiding us towards self-betterment, it becomes an emotional weight that hinders self-acceptance and personal healing. And when this happens, guilt ceases to be a driver of growth and transforms into an obstacle to emotional well-being. Beyond its psychological and moral dimensions, emotional guilt can be viewed through a spiritual lens as an opportunity for transformation and self-discovery. It serves as an internal compass, urging us to reflect on our actions, seek reconciliation, and cultivate awareness. Nevertheless, if mismanaged, emotional guilt can chain us to the past, hindering emotional growth and preventing us from embracing the present with confidence and serenity. From this perspective, emotional guilt is often a manifestation of the ego, which causes us to over-identify with our mistakes and perceive them as intrinsic to our identity. That is why true liberation from emotional guilt comes through forgiveness towards both ourselves and others, allowing us to release this emotional burden and continue evolving. Some spiritual traditions interpret emotional guilt as a karmic bond, an energetic wave that influences our growth in consciousness. In this view, overcoming this emotion requires not only acknowledging the lessons it offers, but also making amends and freeing ourselves from its hold. Rather than a punishment, see emotional guilt as a temporary teacher, guiding us toward greater self-awareness, responsibility, and transcendence. Emotional guilt frequently arises from lingering over past choices with remorse, regretting what we might have done differently. This preoccupation traps us in a cycle of self-reproach, preventing us from fully engaging with the present and offering little benefit other than prolonging emotional distress. Furthermore, social and religious influences often reinforce emotional guilt by instilling a profound sense of inadequacy or wrongdoing, making us feel fundamentally flawed. Yet this perception is a distortion created by the ego. At our core, our true nature, our pure awareness is complete and untainted. Through the practice of mindfulness and living in the present moment, we can loosen emotional guilt's hold, allowing emotions to come and go without identifying with them or being consumed by their weight. The path to liberation from emotional guilt begins with self-forgiveness. This does not mean excusing harmful actions, but rather releasing the emotional charge associated with them. It involves recognizing that we are all on a journey of growth and learning. Through self-acceptance, we cultivate compassion for ourselves, just as we would for a loved one. To prevent emotional guilt from becoming a burden, it is essential to develop healthy strategies for managing it, like identifying the cause of emotional guilt, reflecting on its origins, and determining whether it's rational or excessive. Evaluating the magnitude of the harm, differentiating between genuine mistakes and unnecessary self-imposed emotional guilt, seeking forgiveness and making amends, when possible taking action to repair any damage caused, learning from the experience, using emotional guilt as a catalyst for growth and transformation, practicing self-forgiveness, accepting that mistakes are part of being human and commit to continuing learning. Seeking guidance when needed, taking to a therapist, spiritual mentor, or a trusted advisor can aid in processing and releasing emotional guilt. Additionally, there are powerful tools that support emotional and spiritual healing, such as meditation and mindfulness, that help us cultivate self-awareness and detachment from negative thought patterns. Prayer and spiritual reflection provide us with inner peace and guidance. Yoga, connecting body and mind while alleviating the anxiety associated with emotional guilt. Regression therapy explores the deeper roots of guilt for greater understanding. Self-compassion and self-love help us develop the ability to treat ourselves with the same kindness offered to others. The key to managing emotional guilt is not to suppress or dwell on it, but to transcend it through forgiveness, awareness, and right action. It is not about ignoring our mistakes, but about taking responsibility, learning from them, and using them as stepping stones for growth. When approached with wisdom, emotional guilt is not a life sentence, but an invitation to healing, self-discovery, and personal evolution. May the inner peace that we cultivate today expand and guide us always. Until next time.